In this WrestleTalk news, AEW could be debuting a new wrestling show. Triple H is set to change title belts in WWE, Pete's review of SmackDown, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
Yes, it's me. It's Sat E Day once again. Thank you for the love you guys showed me the last time I was here. I didn't have to kick anyone's teeth in. In AEW's short tenure, they've managed to not only get one TV show deal, but another hour-long TV show, 2 YouTube shows, plus spin-offs like Roads to the Top and add-ons like Being the Elite. But it doesn't stop there, because there might be even more TV coming soon. Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter mentioned that there has obviously been talk of another wrestling show. All Elite Women will either be a wrestling show or a reality show, and the reality show that was talked about had a different name than that. A new in-ring show could be cable or streaming, but would have to be taped, or it could be the ROH show they've been shopping around for television. He also noted that given that they were booking buildings for October, the announcement would be made sooner rather than later. But regardless, they're definitely looking to increase the production amount of in-ring product. If they're taping 2 nights a week regularly, whatever that means, more streaming or more television. So guys, would you want to see more AEW in-ring product on your television screen? Let me know in the comments. If there's another TV show they're getting, there's another feather in the cap for their Warner Brothers Discovery relationship, which more details have been revealed about. Fightful Select is reporting that from a source inside Warner Bros. Discovery itself, though they have still a significant amount of time on their contract left, AEW programming makes no negative waves, and they've been holding up their end of the deal. Both sides were reportedly pleased with the Shark Week and House of the Dragon integrations into the AEW shows, and there was reportedly a high level of trust given to AEW in the handling of those properties. So, for anyone who thinks that Dynamite getting under 1 million viewers means the show is in the mud, that is not the case. There's also been a report recently that AEW has been told by Warner Brothers Discovery to, to tone down the language, so effing and jeffing when it comes to TV. However, that report has been shot down by Fightful Select, good old Fightful. AEW reportedly told that Fightful that they believe it was, quote, taken out of context from their talent meeting this past week, where the original point was supposed to be that if they fly too close to the sun, Icarus point, I get it, they could get the network heat, not that this was an actual edict from the network. So it seems that things are also good on that front for AEW too. Yay. We've seen several changes within WWE, both on screen and backstage. The return of NXT talent, the returns of NXT creative teams, bloody heck, Road Dogg. Ugh. And just generally better presentation of wrestlers and feuds have all been welcome changes to the show so far. But it seems like he's not done there. Twitter user @BeltFanDan, who's often seen speaking on various wrestling belts in the industry, even getting scoops on new belt designs before they're officially revealed, tweeted to say, "Rumor mill says Triple H making numerous belt design changes. Does that mean we can get belts that don't look like toys and actually look like wrestling belts again?" I remember the good old days when wrestling belts actually looked like something you'd be proud to wear down the street. That would be nice. Trips has a pretty good track record with belt designs, especially with NXT UK ones. So if he could harness some of that energy, I'm all for it.
Visit WrestleShop.com every day for the most stupendous in wrestling merchandise. WrestleShop.com. Wrestling merch for grown-ups.
And now it's time for my review of SmackDown in about 5 minutes. This show began with Ricochet versus Happy Corbin as the rehabilitation of Ricochet continues. While this isn't a drastic suddenly he's the best wrestler in the world, seeing him get to wrestle more and showcase more and more of his talent is always a good thing. And props to Happy Corbin as well, he had some new offense in this match and worked incredibly effectively as Ricochet's foil. The match went a few minutes and Ricochet won clean as anything with a shooting star press. We got the first of 2 video packages about Drew McIntyre's career, and these These videos were absolutely incredible. This is the kind of stuff I love, when WWE references their own continuity, doesn't sugarcoat it, and openly talks about how Drew wanted to be signed to WWE, came into the company, was the chosen one, then was released. It's so simple, so candid, and makes you so much more invested in Drew as a person. Karrion Kross cut a promo saying that maybe it is Drew's time, but at any point, he can put his arm through the back of his head. Simple, quick, effective. The Last Chance Fatal 4-Way match only went a few minutes and ended anticlimactically after Nikki ASH was superplexed to the outside onto a bunch of people, and Sonya Deville dragged her into the ring and pinned her. If they had a little more time to give to this, and they'd managed to keep up the pace they began with, this could have been great, but as it is, it was just okay. Sheamus had an in-ring promo with Gunther next, and this might have been up there with one of my favorite things on this show. It started formulaically. Sheamus said he was going to win. Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser came out, and Sheamus continued, saying he reminded him a lot of him. He liked to go to war in the ring, but Sheamus is a true ring general. He's been in the ring with the best of the best and beaten them all. Gunther then did a fiery response, saying he was going to break Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser, Butch, and Rich Holland began brawling, but Gunther and Sheamus just stayed there, locked eyes, unmoving, while the others brawled around them, and it's that visual alone that completely sold me on this match. I am all in for Sheamus versus Gunther, and I think it is going to be phenomenal. Also, they're going to beat the piss out of each other, which will be fun. The continuation of the Sami Zayn and Bloodline story was my actual favorite thing on the show though, because this is recapturing some of the magic from the initial Tribal Chief run that I absolutely loved. Subtle storytelling, conflicting motivations, character arcs, this ticks all the boxes, and I love it. Sami went to go see Roman Reigns after he took the bullet for him last week, but Jey Uso is still pissed off at him. Roman overrules Jey though, and lets Sami enter the locker room, where Roman thanks Sami for last week and asks him for another favor, to keep Drew distracted tonight. Honestly, when I just say what the crux of this promo was, there wasn't much to it, but when you look at all of the moving parts of Jey not liking Sami and being overruled by Roman, which I'm sure he might not take kindly to, Sami's continued inclusion into the bloodline, Jimmy being on board with him, but Jey still not being there yet, Roman's end goal of having another person to manipulate and do his bidding. This was a wonderful segment that I went back to watch again afterwards because I enjoyed it that much. This is my kind of storytelling. Hook it into my veins! Just right in there. Give me more of this. Sonya Deville and Natalya faced Raquel Rodriguez and Aaliyah next, with Bayley on commentary, to which Michael Cole's reaction was very funny. Bayley was great here, and the looser style of commentary under Triple H really complements the Michael Cole dynamic. The match itself was fine, nothing super special, but Raquel was put over strong and pinned Sonya Deville to advance to the finals against Io Sky and Dakota Kai. Maximum Male Models were having a photo shoot in the parking lot, I think, for some reason, and there was a bus next to them which started playing Hit Row's music. Maxine Dupree recruited Los Lotharios to help, who offered spray paint, so they spray painted Hit Row Sucks onto the side of the bus, but it wasn't even Hit Row's bus, it was the Street Profits. Oh no! This was fine, I guess. Everything seemed very low budget though, from the photo shoot set to the audio production, and especially the lighting on everything. This was a weird series of segments, and yes, I said series, because this was actually 3 segments that I just stitched together. The New Day returned next, and Xavier Woods was in a wheelchair with a blanket over his lap. If there's one thing we know about wrestling, if you've got a blanket over your lap in a wheelchair, it means you're hiding something. But regardless, the New Day cut genuine promos saying they've got their asses kicked by the Viking Raiders, to which the Raiders came out, but New Day revealed they're trapped. Woods was fine and actually had kendo sticks in the wheelchair, and they stood tall. This was some inoffensive, good bit of fun. The second of Drew McIntyre's videos was also good, highlighting Drew's return to WWE, though I would have liked a bit more time and how much time had passed and how he rebuilt himself and his time in NXT, but regardless, it was another great video package. Capped off with Drew saying how he was going to kick Roman's f***ing head off. Do this more, please, WWE. And the main event was Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn, in the culmination of my 2 favorite bits on SmackDown right now. Drew's got the sword back though. God damn it. This was a fun match. Sami is slowly starting to be taken seriously as a wrestler again with his performance last week and how he held his own against Drew here too. So eventually, even with the Usos causing a distraction, Drew got the win with a Claymore. The crowd really want that Sami Zayn face turn before long though. Chants for "Let's go Sami" rang out in this match, but he's not turning face just yet as he joined Roman Reigns and the Usos in a post-match beatdown of Drew to end the show. With a frankly wonderful visual to go off the air, with Roman sitting on a chair over Drew, the Usos standing by his side, and Sami just poking his head in the back, perfectly demonstrating their individual relationships just through the way they're standing. Stuff like this matters, and a cool beatdown to end the show, even with the heel standing tall, is good. This has made me more excited for the pay-per-view match, and that's what this is designed for. Overall, this was a great SmackDown that really helped build hype for Clash at the Castle, largely helped by the Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, and Drew McIntyre stuff, but with nothing overly bad on the show either. Everything was okay to fantastic, and the fantastic stuff was the majority of the show and the primary focus. This show is a high 4 out of 5. There's no Rampage review today, but myself and Sat E will be covering both SmackDown and Rampage with our full thoughts later today on the WrestleTalk podcast channel, so subscribe over there for that. In this WrestleTalk news, Thunder Rosa has heat with multiple wrestlers, Sammy Guevara speaks on Eddie Kingston's suspension, tons more details on CM Punk, AEW meetings, and maybe a bit on WWE too.